Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Derek Martinez. Catholic Social Services in Hazleton is offering a housing program for young adults with mental health concerns. The Bridge to Independence program provides housing support services for adults ages 18 to 26, where they can develop and enhance life skills on the path to self-sufficiency. Greater Hazleton Regional Coordinator Danielle Madarella told us about the importance of this program.
So mental health is a huge issue in the community. So, we wanted to focus on the mental health aspect. And with these young adults, they're very vulnerable. They fostered out of the system a lot of the individuals. We got a lot of referrals from our homeless shelter. So they're just young adults that definitely need some kind of support. And we knew that this program would be, a great asset to the community.
Through the Bridge to Independence program, Catholic Social Services works to reduce homelessness in the Hazleton area by offering individuals a place to stay. Those who have faced issues with poverty, criminal activity, or aging out of the system are able to find a supportive resource through this program and get back on their feet.
The end goal is always to address their mental health, make sure that they are seeing, blended case managers, seeing their therapists, have their medications, in order. Once that is established, then, they're able to reach their goals, whatever goals they set. It could be as simple as learning how to clean, getting their high school diplomas, getting into college, jobs, so they all have, their own goals. And so we help them try to meet those goals and become self-sufficient so they could be out on their own.
We also spoke with one of the participants in the program. Brianna Fleming said that the program has helped her learn the skills needed to lead a successful and independent life.
It's been pretty good. I like how they've been helping me since I've been here with just getting everything situated with my school and stuff. I applied for Penn State. I got a job, they helped me with doing making a resume and stuff. So I like that because I never knew how to do that. So they helped me on my first week here doing that. And they did help me find a job. I got the job maybe 2 weeks later or a week later after I arrived at Bridge. Fleming
also told us how she got referred to the program.
I was referred by my therapist at Pathways. Me and her one day was just talking, and she was like, "Oh, I think this is a very good fit," because one of her other clients that she had referred over here. He was over here, but he left already. He's in the army now. But yeah, she just told me she heard good things from him, and I gave it, I did my application with her and stuff, and then I've been here since then.
Fleming recommends any young adults who need a stable resource to give the program a try.
I feel like this will be a good place for people with mental health who want to come and get some independence for themselves and get a little bit of help, because asking for help is not, it's hard to ask for help, but if you really want it, this is a place to come over here and get the help for yourself and just to get your life a little started. And I don't know, we all need a little bit of assistance, I feel like.
More information about the Bridge to Independence program can be found by contacting Elizabeth Hoffman at 570-455-1521 or by email at ehoffman@csshazleton.org. A man from Orwigsburg is behind bars in Schuylkill County after he allegedly raped a woman. Hakeem Lee is behind bars after officials say he forced his way into the victim's home and reportedly ripped off the victim's clothes before raping her. According to the victim, she tried to escape the situation and yelled for help, but Lee proceeded to cover her mouth and to prevent her from reaching her cell phone. When Lee eventually fell asleep, officials say the victim grabbed her cell phone and fled the home. Lee was taken into custody after police found him sleeping in the bedroom. Lee has been charged with multiple counts of felony aggravated assault without consent, rape, sexual assault, strangulation, forcible compulsion, misdemeanor indecent assault, loitering, and false imprisonment. He is currently behind bars at the Schuylkill County Prison on $100,000 bail. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for April 9th. A body was discovered in Wilkes-Barre on Tuesday near TGI Fridays. Crews were seen investigating the scene along North Cross Valley Expressway behind the Host Inn All Suites Hotel. The Luzerne County coroner has confirmed that a body was discovered in the area. Additional details are limited at this time. Stay tuned on WYLN for updates on this developing story. Police in Hemlock Township are asking the public for help in identifying 2 white males they say were involved in incidents at Lowe's. Police say the 2 suspects were involved in incidents at the store on March 17th. If you have any information on the suspects or their whereabouts, you are asked to contact Hemlock Township Police at 570-784-6543. A woman is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. Stephanie Betterly is wanted on charges of neglect to animals, cruelty to animals, simple assault, resisting arrest, defiant trespass, disorderly conduct, engaging in fighting, and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. Betterly is known to have ties to the Hazleton area. If you have any information on Betterly's whereabouts, you are asked to contact the Carbon County Sheriff's Office at 570-325-2821. Coming up on WYLN News, Christ Lutheran Church in Hazleton is observing Holy Week with several different services. Plus, Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton will be hosting a blood drive on Tuesday, April 9th. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Ellie, and tomorrow's gonna be rainy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Attention, WYLN viewers! WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Welcome back to WYLN News. Christ Lutheran Church in Hazleton is observing Holy Week with several different services. Holy Week began last Sunday, which is recognized by the church as Palm Sunday, and recounts the final days of Jesus Christ's time on earth. Reverend David Eisenhuth told us about the significance of each service during Holy Week and the new additions he is bringing to the church.
I've been here only since the beginning of January, and I bring 42 years of experience working in other churches. I was ordained in 1981, and so people have already seen some changes, I think, which are for the good, because if you're not changing, you're dead, and so I've added a few elements. For example, on Palm Sunday, our service began in the back in the rear of the church with an invitation to go forward with Jesus. We had about 30 children with palms. I told them all to smile because it was a happy occasion. and it was just a really nice time, and I'm expecting on Thursday we're going to do something interesting. Traditionally in the church we wash feet. However, no one really likes to do that anymore, so I've changed, and we're washing one another's hands as a sign of our commitment to baptism.
On the following day, Good Friday is observed with a service at 1:30 p.m. featuring the Stations of the Cross. The Stations chronicle the crucifixion of Christ up to his burial in the tomb. The services then continue on Saturday for the Easter Vigil Mass.
Saturday is a new service for the people here. It's been years since they've had an Easter Vigil, and that begins at 8. That's going to be in our parish hall, which is as big as most congregations are. If you're coming to that, it's easiest to stay to park in the lot of City Hall. They've been very gracious about that, and just come in the double doors there on Green Street. And as I said, on Sunday we're going to have some new elements with lots of shouting and bells and things, and that begins at our regular time of 10:30.
Reverend Eisenhuth said that he is grateful to celebrate Holy Week with the people of Hazelton.
This church has a long history, but I'd like to think that we are a happy congregation. That's what I have experienced here. People who are willing to look at new and exciting things, and I believe we're an inclusive congregation, and as time goes on we're going to play on that because, as I said, people are very welcoming here, and these services are really wonderful, wonderful time to be together, especially on Easter Sunday. And we are in this wonderful position right here on Green Street, on Church Street as well, and as you perhaps can see, the marvelous window behind me is just part of what makes for an incredibly beautiful sanctuary.
Reverend Eisenhuth hopes that the congregation is reminded of the many blessings brought by Easter.
I would think that they take away the joy of Easter. Obviously, we are part of what happens to Jesus on Friday. We are sinners, but so is everybody else, and as we come here, we hear the good news, which God forgives us our sins in Jesus, welcomes us to be part of that wonderful thing in the garden, and as Jesus spoke Mary's name to her and she recognized him, I'd like people to think that Jesus speaks directly to them, names them, understands who they are, and accompanies with them on the life journey, and is really there for them in a very special way, which we experience through these great 3 days.
The full Holy Week schedule at Christ Lutheran Church can be found at clchazelton.org. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton will be hosting a blood drive on Tuesday, April 9th. The mobile blood drive will be held in collaboration with the Miller Keystone Blood Center. Individuals 16 years of age and older will need to present valid identification, and 16-year-old donors will need a parent or guardian to fill out the required permission slip. The blood drive will be held from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the hospital campus, located at 700 East Broad Street in Hazelton. To register, you can visit giveapint.org. Coming up on Tomato's News Choice, Ryan Prosk is back on Let's Talk Sports. Plus, we discuss Lyme disease on this week's Wellness Wednesday. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
The great drama of salvation unfolds for us in several acts during Holy Week at Christ Lutheran Church in Hazelton. Catch all or part of the play at Christ Lutheran Church, 210 West Green Street in Hazelton. We'd love to welcome you. Come as you are. God loves you, and so do we. Visit our website and see stream services online. Watch the rebroadcast of the Sunday service that evening at 6 p.m. on WYLN TV. For more information, call us at 570-454-3542. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. With an extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, everyday low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations, Route 93 in Nescopec,
or downtown Hazelton,
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleeps better with Grand Central.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Sports. As you can see, we're in a remote location today, and today I'm joined by Heather Knott, the head coach of the Hazleton Area Cougars softball team. Heather, how's it going?
So far, so good. Early in the season, but off to an okay start.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that. How's it gone thus far? Is there anything that you've been impressed with thus far in the season?
Our first game, we were very successful. We hit the ball really well. Our second game, we run into a little bit of a whirlwind, but faced a very good team. So I think our lack of experience just showed. And, quite honestly, I just don't think we were really ready for that caliber of team yet.
And those kind of challenges, they build character, they build experience. What does that kind of mean for the girls to, suffer defeat and try to bounce back in the next game?
Yeah, that's important. That's what we were focusing on yesterday at practice and today as well. We have another big game tomorrow with another good team, Valley View. So it's, getting the idea of let's pick ourselves back up and continue the fight.
Yep, you definitely continue the fight in sports. That's what it's all there for. But tell us about, give us a little preview of the season. What's to come? What do you expect?
Hopefully the future is bright. I mean, this is a special team. I mean, these girls are great kids. I mean, in the classroom, on the field, they get together well, so their chemistry is strong. But, it's game by game. Every year we take it one game at a time, but they're getting better every day with practice. I think, too, I mentioned about the lack of experience. We have 4 returning starters, so those other gaps are important that we fill in, and it's just kind of getting everybody comfortable with each other.
And I know it's early in the season. I usually ask this question late in the season. I asked the Coach Gavio when they were in the playoffs. What do you hope the team takes from this season in general? I know it's early, so you could answer in a multitude of ways, but what do you hope they take away from it?
It's just having a good time, that it's a positive memory. I want them to not only just win, but have an enjoyable season with a great group of kids.
Yeah, but it sounds like you got a great group. But is there anything you want to leave the people with before we depart here?
Come and support Hazleton area softball at our new facility, and hopefully it's a successful one.
Hopefully it is a successful one, and I'd like to thank Coach Nat for joining us on this edition of Let's Talk Sports. We'll see you next time.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Hi folks, this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, we're going to talk about Yoseri was in 2 car accidents 10 years ago, and now she's about 8 months pregnant. How chiropractic is important even if you had old car accidents and if you're pregnant now. So tune in.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
Hi, I'm Lisa Marie, and we are here at Brook Hill Center with Dr. Dan Benyo. We are going to be talking a little bit about Lyme disease. We ran into some of our Vital Choice members the other day at a health fair, and a lot of them like to go outdoors, go for walks, but they're a little concerned about Lyme disease. So I have a couple questions they want me to ask you, doctor, okay? So the first one is, how do we contract Lyme disease?
So most commonly, Lyme disease is a tick-borne illness. And so we see it very commonly in areas that have a lot of deer ticks that are traveled along deer paths or what have you. Very common in this area, can happen a lot with the recent weather changes almost year-round. It used to be just kind of springtime, summer, and fall, but now sometimes we see some cases even into December and January, which wasn't as common as before, but generally through a tick bite.
What are the symptoms, and then are they similar to like other health problems? Like how are you going to identify that it's Lyme disease?
Yeah, so a lot of times people will notice the rash. The pathognomonic or buzzword is a bullseye rash. It kind of has central clearing and it expands. It's called erythema migrans, so it migrates. Can have multiple rashes throughout the body. Joint pain is very common as well. Joint swelling, can affect the knees, other joints as well. Can mimic arthritis, maybe gout. Also, we start to see in some individuals even facial drooping, which can be concerning, can look like a stroke. And in older individuals, more mature individuals, we kind of get concerned about that and they'll end up being in the hospital. But for younger individuals even, they can notice they'll start to get kind of a facial droop, and it can be very concerning, discerning. And so Lyme disease is very peculiar in that can present with a wide variety of symptoms. Fevers, chills, malaise, tiredness, also very common with Lyme disease.
So having said that, how do we really truly identify that it is Lyme disease?
Very good. So the first thing is clinical history. So even though there is a statistic that says less than half of the people who develop the rash actually remember getting a tick bite or actually see a tick bite. But more commonly, we do see people who come into the office or call our office saying, oh, I have a tick bite, or I have a tick in me, can we dig it out, or I got it out, can you look at it, or look at the rash. So a lot of times, if you have the tick bite, that's kind of helpful. And then if you live in a wooded area, if you've had Lyme disease before, and certainly if you're within this kind of endemic area, especially Pennsylvania, that's high on our list. If you're somewhere in Florida or Miami, I probably wouldn't consider Lyme disease initiating down there. But certainly in this area, it's very common.
So, one thing I used to hear is like if you are outside and you come in and you've been active out in the woods or wherever, is to kind of like check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, make sure when you go for a shower, have somebody check you, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how easy is it to see a tick?
Yeah, so a lot of times people will say, well, it's itchy in the area. They felt it was maybe a skin tag somewhere. It's kind of this little odd lump or something. And a lot of times, certainly if you have kids, you want to do, if they're out in the woods, you always examine them before they go to bed at night to catch the tick early. That's important so that it doesn't have time to kind of get into a little bit of the bloodstream or have the Lyme component get into the bloodstream. And so then you just survey them head to toe. And traditionally, without all the clothes on, before they get into a shower, checking kind of areas of where crevices are, belt lines, sock lines. There is a spray that you can use, that people will use to help do a tick repellent. But certainly when you're out in the woods, making sure you're wearing long sleeves, long pants. And then even despite best efforts, they still get on you. They're very hard to get off, and certainly that can cause issues when you're trying to remove them.
So it's a lot of times I've heard of people who've had Lyme disease so severe that it really knocked them for a long time. Is that most of the cases or not?
So generally, 80% usually have just the rash, so that's good. And then there can be other manifestations with the Lyme arthritis, and then some of the neurologic conditions. There is a concern regarding or nuance between active Lyme and chronic Lyme. And so active Lyme we would consider as having the active infection in your body and being able to treat it with the antibiotics. And the chronic Lyme may manifest not as active disease, but more of a reaction to the infection in the past, almost like a long COVID. Doesn't mean you have active COVID, but those lingering symptoms, reverberation of that infection still kind of hangs around. So some people do have severe debility, chronic fatigue, a lot of arthritis, maybe some neuropathy or paresthesias, abnormal sensations. But for the most part, if you kind of diagnose it early, treat it early, you don't really have long-term complications.
So when you say treat, how do we treat it?
Sure. So we use antibiotics. And so sometimes if you catch the tick very early, you can use just a one-time dose of an antibiotic. Doxycycline's a great antibiotic. There's other antibiotics like cephalosporins or macrolides or amoxicillin if you have contraindications to using doxycycline. But in general, we try to use that. That's the mainstay treatment. Depending on the complication that you're having related to Lyme, if it's more disseminated, sometimes we do longer durations. So instead of that one-time dose, we'll do maybe 10 to 14 days. If there's more complications, you can even do up to 28 days. And if there's even severe complications, you require IV antibiotics and in the hospital. Well, I think the key to it is identifying it early and, of course, making sure you don't try to dig it out yourself, especially if we can get you down in the office that day and try to get it out in one piece. That way we're not digging around. And just watch your kids for it, and it can be out all year round.
Thanks for watching Wellness Wednesday.
And that does it for the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest news and updates on our YouTube, Facebook, or at our website at wylntv.com. Stay with us for a look at the weather.
You're watching WYLN TV 30.